Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on African Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it comes from a translation of a message that I received. The translation reads like this. Hello, Brother Nanshi, how are you? Can you please post my own story as hidden identity? My wealthy brother, he tried to sacrifice me for his ritual, but by God's grace, I was able to escape. I never thought that I was going to be the last one standing. I was the last born in the family, the entire family. Whenever I hear people saying that they want to do these money-making rituals, sometimes I feel like crying, because as for us, I think that the moment that I am going to die, it will be the end of our family. I am a woman anyway. Even if I have my own kids, they won't carry my family's name, but they would carry their own father's name. So it is as good as the whole family has been wiped out from the face of the earth, not knowing if our fathers, if they had any other kids with women that we do not know. That is like my prayer. I always say unto God, let's hope that one amongst my uncles or even my father maybe cheated on my mother and had a son somewhere out there who will continue with his name. Our entire family was wiped out by my own brother, and he sacrificed everyone. And at that time he wanted me, but by the grace of God I was able to escape. Right now, I am a woman who is 40 years old. I am currently staying in South Africa. My name is Memory, not a real name. I do come from a very small, peaceful village in Zim. When I was still young, I understood that as a family, we were poor, we did not have much. We were a big family, but we had each other. My family was everything to me. I had my own brother who was in the army. He was very old. He was the eldest in the family. He was the one who was in the city. So he kept on coming back to the village, bringing us groceries. And each and every time when he would come back to the village, he would make sure that everything would be shared amongst all of the relatives. That was when he told us that he was now running a business. And we saw that each and every time when he would return back to the village, he would be driving another car. But he never wanted anyone to visit him in the city. My mom kept on saying that she wanted to go and visit my brother, but my brother will refuse. There was this other time when my brother came with a lot of groceries. When he was about to leave for the city, my mom then said that, today, my son, I am going with you. By force, I am going with you. You are going to show me the place where you are staying. So my mother forced to get into the car, but my brother got off from the vehicle and she said, I cannot go with you to the city. That one I cannot do. So all that he was doing was coming back to the village, flaunting his wealth and telling us how much his life had changed. And very soon he was going to build a very big house for our parents, and he was going to make sure that we had running water, even electricity in the village, so much that we won't even have the desire to visit him in the city. So my mom kept on crying, saying, why doesn't my son want me to visit him in the city? Is it because he is ashamed of his poor mother? Then one by one, my relatives, they started dying. They all died, Brother Nash. And what pains me the most is that when my relatives died, they were all being buried at my father's compound. It was like everyone from the village was coming to my father's compound and burying their loved ones, yet they were all my relatives. When I was now staying alone, sometimes I would even be afraid to be at my father's compound alone. Then I would go and I would sleep at my friend's house. I was always lonely, feeling lonely, saying that all of my relatives, they have passed away. As for my brother, even though he had a wife, but the wife had her own kids, they never have any children together. So one night, my friend, since she was now dating, she was now starting to run away from home, and she would go and sleep with her boyfriend. Then I was at my father's compound all alone, getting ready for bed. That was when I heard footsteps outside. There was someone who was walking outside. Before I knew it, the door was kicked violently. I thought that these people that had kicked the door, they wanted to rape me or to do something bad to me. And then those men rushed into my bedroom. These 3 men, they were all strangers. They moved with purpose. Quickly, I tried to fight them, to scream, but they overpowered me. They tied my hands, they gagged me and dragged me out of my own home. I was thrown into the back of a van. I was blindfolded and terrified. I did not even know where exactly they were taking me, but I had a sinking feeling that this was my brother. The drive was long from the village returning back to Harare, especially when they were still driving in the dusty roads of our village. The roads they are very rough. I could hear them talking, laughing as if they were just doing another job. When they mentioned Harare, I knew that they were taking me to my brother, and my heart sank as I had discovered that my brother was the one who had me kidnapped. Then I started to pray. I was just praying and crying, saying, "Dear God, please do not let me die." But there was another voice in me that was telling me that it was far much better not to cry, so that I can die and meet up with my parents and all of my relatives. We arrived at his house in Rua, but he was not using that house a lot. So when we arrived there, I was then thrown into a small dark room with nothing but a mat on the floor. The door locked behind me and I was left alone. I did not know how long I was going to be there, but I knew that I had to escape. The men came back one day to bring me water, and they kept on telling me that my brother was still waiting for his witch doctor. This witch doctor was from Mount Darwin. You need to pray for those people that are said to have died in rituals and their body parts have been harvested, because before they kill you, they even tell you that you are going to die and we are going to harvest your body parts. And you can just imagine knowing that you are going to get killed, and you being killed, they are going to harvest your body parts. It terrifies you. I was in that room. I would cry knowing that I am about to meet death, not knowing exactly when I was going to meet death. I was waiting for that witch doctor from Mount Darwin who wanted my body parts to use them in his rituals as well. So this man, he was going to bring with him my death. I was told that he was going to arrive very soon. I spent 4 days in that room praying, that hoping somehow I was going to be saved. I could hear them talking outside. Even my brother would come, but he would refuse to see me. I would scream in pain whenever I would hear my brother speaking with those men in another room. But on the 4th day, this traditional healer, I don't know why it took him so long to come so that I can be killed. One of the thugs left the house saying that he needed a brand new phone. He came back a few hours later, and I heard that he had the police with him. He had bought a stolen phone and he had been spotted by some CID, and those detectives, they had picked him up, and when he panicked, he tried to run away. They kept on following him and they brought him to Rua, and then they started searching the property. And when they searched the property, that was when they found me. They found me, Brother Nashi. I was lying on the mat, too weak to stand, when I heard a banging on the door. It was not the thugs, it was the police. They broke the door and they pulled me out of that room, and I could not even look directly at the sun because I had been in that room for a very long time. My brother, he was arrested, and currently he is in prison as we are speaking right now. But what hurts me is that he finished us all. At least he should have left at least even one of my cousin brothers so that he can continue with the family name. He wanted my body parts. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our dear sister. She's saying that sometimes I wish that maybe if I had died, it could have been better, because she is saying what pains me the most is that I know that I am the last remaining member of our family. And I am a woman. If I was a man, at least I will know that my father's name will continue. But how can I continue? Just imagine knowing that your brother has wiped your entire family from the face of the earth. If our sister dies, it means that it is over for her family. They will never be remembered anymore as a people. And this man has been arrested. Strange things indeed they do happen in this world.